Oh, shit.
Good morning, Noodlers. Oh, wait, let me change that. Good day, Noodlers. I got to get that thing out of my vocabulary. But good day, Noodlers. Welcome to New Op Day, February 11th, 2015. We are going to have a great show today. This is the brand new beginning of another new strong session on a beautiful, glorious, it really is a beautiful, awesome New Op Day today. Things couldn't be better. Hope you had a great climax, and let's get this thing started. John, what do you got to say?
I have to say, good day, Noodlers. It's a new op day. Paul said, I mean, if you're in Phoenix, Arizona right now, in this weather, you have nothing to complain about this morning. I mean, blue skies, clear, beautiful. Everything is just feeling good. The vibe is nice out there this morning. And it's like Paul said, it's a start to a whole new session, a whole new opportunity, a whole new – can't wait to see what's going to happen at the climax here on Thursday and Friday. And we've got deals closing. We've got deals opening. Things couldn't be better. And I really feel that, yes, today is going to be an awesome hangout. And I'm waiting with bated breath to hear Paul tell us why it's going to be so awesome today.
Well, actually, you know what? There's probably some people thinking, what the heck are these guys talking about? New ops and sessions and climaxes and all that. We better probably get some people up on the lingo here, okay? If you're going to be a noodler, you got to have the right attitude, okay? And it all starts with, I mean, why would anybody want, because there's some certain words we don't use, okay? So, because why would everybody want to start, first of all, why does anybody want to start their day and morning, okay? I mean, come on, really? So you know, good rising, fresh start, you know, good day, whatever, anything, but grief, come on. Why would anybody want to start their day in morning? And if you start your day in morning, what the heck are you going to really get done, right? So we don't start our days in morning. We don't start our grouping of 7 days, that puny ass little word that's attached to that. We don't start those with you know, that day that falls, that, you know, is commonly known as that day between, you know, Sunday and Tuesday. We don't start with those either, okay? Because I mean, think about this, really. Why would you want to begin 52 times a year a new week with a moan day? I mean, come on. And then you have nothing to look forward to but a weekend? I mean, that's... How are you ever supposed to? No wonder nothing gets done in this country. I mean, come on. You know, you start every day in morning. You start a brand new week with a moan day, and the only thing you got to look forward to is a weekend. So around here, as a noodler, we start every strong session, every new strong session. That's the group. That's the new name for a grouping of 7 days. We start every new strong session with New Op Day. What is New Op Day? It's New Opportunity Day. It's a new opportunity to begin this new strong session. And we end it with a climax. We don't end with a weekend. We end with a climax because everybody loves a good climax. So there you go. All right. Now you got the lingo down. I don't ever want to hear those puny, debilitating, nasty words ever again come out of your mouth. That's why it's going to be a great show, Don.
You know what? I'm starting to feel that every day is a new op day, and every day is the start of a brand new session, and every day should end with a climax.
Well, yeah, you can condense that down into the individual day.
You know what's another thing that I want to point out there is that when you're an entrepreneur, when you're a self-employed person, when you're a business owner or an investor, and or someone that really has a burning desire to go out there and be extremely successful and build wealth, not just earn and make a living, you should look at every day of the week as another opportunity to go out there and get some work done. And I don't believe in the 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, 9 to 5 type of mentality, because you know what that gets you? That's a job mentality, which is a broke mentality. You know, you got to snap out of that. My mind is on my business 24/7. Why? Actually, because I love what I'm doing. I like what I'm doing, which is of key importance, really, as I have a burning desire for it. But you got to get out of your mind that, hey, I'm going to start my day around 8. I'm going to end that day around 4. I'm going to do that for 5 days a week, and I'm going to become wealthy. You know what? The truth of the matter, you will never become wealthy with that type of mentality. Anybody who's achieved a level of success beyond, just earning a living, Steve Jobs, Donald Trump, you think these guys, when they first started out, just, quit quit at 5 o'clock on Friday and just forgot about their business and everything for the next 2 days, and then schlepped into work Monday and turned themselves on at 8 and turned themselves back off at 4, 5 after an 8-hour day? No, successful people don't do that. One of my favorite online mentors, a guy named Preston Ely, says is, if you're not rich, you're working on Saturdays. Hell, you should be working on yourself on Sundays. Like, unless you're rich, you shouldn't be taking time off on the weekends. You shouldn't be. You know what? Save that for when you have the financial freedom and success. Every day is an opportunity to get out there and build your business, build yourself, and search for new opportunities.
Did you have a chance to look at any of those posts I sent you yesterday?
You know what's funny? Yes, I had seen some of those posts prior to you sending them to me.
Oh, you had? Okay, cool.
But no, I'm glad you sent those to me. Very good stuff.
Did you
sent me some links to him.
Did you watch that little video with the from the pet store?
No, I did not see that one yet.
Oh, that's freaking hilarious. You got to watch that. I forget which one of them it's in, but yeah, there's a little video, short little video from a magician in a pet store. And he's behind the counter, and he does this trick, but nobody knows he's a magician or anything like that. And it's hilarious. You got to check it out. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. You got to go see it. It's just a couple minutes. But yeah, you know what? Hey, how many people when they get out of bed think, well, thank God that's over. Let's get this. Now we can get back to it. You know what I mean? And because I can't wait to see what I'm going to make happen today, right? Hey, that sleeping thing, thank God it's over. I can finally get back to it again, because I can't wait to see what I'm going to make happen today. Most people are like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. I want to sleep more because I'm afraid of what's going to happen to me today. You see the difference? I mean, just your attitude in the morning. How huge is that? These are some of the things that I got out of these posts yesterday, obviously. Your time on this earth is short, and there's a lot that's expected of you. People's lives depend on you getting your act together. It's not all about you. You need to learn to love, give, and accomplish as much as you possibly can. In the short number of days that are allotted to you on this planet. So that's some pretty cool stuff right there. You
know what? Absolutely. And that kind of plays perfectly. Those little videos you sent over and you watched yourself kind of play into perfectly about with where we're going with this thing today is really, and the reason I brought up the whole idea about get the 8-hour workday, 5-day, well, let's just use the words before, and then I'm going to transpose these to more positive words is, an 8-hour workday for a 5-day work week. Yeah, that is a work week. That is a week if you're just going out there with the intention of I'm just going to do what everybody else does and just get my 5 days over with and not concentrate on my business or building myself after Friday for the next 2 days. That's what we're talking about here the time is so short. It's your most valuable commodity. We only have a limited amount of it, and we've got to be spending our time doing things that are worthwhile. There is time you can take, and don't feel bad about those days or those times where you just need to veg out, but be in the habit of always being on the go, always being productive. And there's another key thing there with what productivity actually means, because there's a difference between busy work and productivity. And to throw a little bit more icing on this cake here is I recently went through a personal experience Thursday evening. I'm not going to get into the details of it, but it could very well potentially drastically change the way in which I'm currently used to living my life. Now, it's not necessarily a good thing. In fact, most people would look at my situation and see all the possibilities of why it is a negative thing that has happened to me. It's funny, I've been discussing it with Paul the last couple of days, and this all comes down to positive mental attitude, making the best use of your time. Is instead of looking at it, yeah, it's not exactly a positive situation, but one of the habits of successful people is to see the silver lining in every cloud. So looking at my situation, going, all right, where's the silver lining? It's actually hilarious and put a big smile on my face how many positive things I can pull out of this seemingly negative situation and weigh the pros and cons and go, holy crap, this might be the most positive thing that ever happened to me. Why? Because of this change that it may be putting in front of me in my life is making me look at certain tasks and certain things I'm doing in a way that goes, well, I'm not going to be able to do this, but this is busy work anyway. Now I'm like, well, I got to figure out a way that this can get done without me having to do it the way I was doing it and be more productive. And now I'm like, I think that I figured out a way to be more productive by this defining moment life change. So there's many lessons in my little story right there, but just to kind of tie it into what we're talking about today is that, you know what, you should be on the go all the time, making the best use of your time and looking for the silver lining in everything, because no matter how negative a situation seems, it only seems negative because you're thinking negatively about it. I don't care what it is, anything. Look at it with a positive mental attitude, try to pull out what the silver lining or the life lesson is and adapt to the change that's coming rather than trying to fight something that's an inevitability. That's kind of one of my thoughts there.
Yeah, or not even try to fight it and just wallow in it. That's the big difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. Right there, what John just laid out is the fact that everything changes. First of all, everything happens for a reason. Whatever, the situation that happened with John, there's a reason why it happened. The reason is, here's your chance to succeed or fail. Everything that happens to you comes with that question. Here's your chance to succeed or fail. You can choose to succeed or you can choose to fail. You can choose to fail by simply doing nothing, wallowing in the misery of what happened to you, looking at it as a problem, looking at it as this big negative thing that's going to cause all these future bad things in your life, and sit there and worry about it and focus on it and just make things get worse and worse and worse. Or you can choose to be positive about it, and you can choose to be successful on the other outcome by, like John just described right there. First of all, examine what caused this? What did, and not like, oh, it's because so-and-so did this that I did. No, you know what? It's not because so-and-so did this that you did that. You did that. That's the bottom line. What did I do to cause this? That's the real question. Not what caused this. What did I do to cause this? Okay. All those other outside factors that you might be trying to blame as the reason for your action that caused it, they had nothing to do with it. You had the choice. You made the decision. You took the action. You caused the problem. All right. Take responsibility for everything. Once you take responsibility for it, then you can look at it, objectively, and you can say, okay, like I said, what did I do to cause this problem? And you can say, well, so-and-so did this, and then I did this, so that therefore I allowed myself to be influenced by so-and-so, and that's something that I can't do in the future. Because when I allow myself to be influenced by so-and-so, obviously I make stupid decisions, and this is what I need to do. So I mean, I'm just saying, this is just a weird sort of, I don't know where it's coming from exactly, but but you get what I'm saying here. Mm-hmm. You ultimately are the cause. Something that you did is ultimately the cause. Maybe it's not a so-and-so, maybe it's a something, something happened to caused me to do something a certain way. So, how do I respond to that in the future? And it all comes down to you. You need to take responsibility for the result of your action. And like John was talking about, go back and analyze what the cause is. Why did it happen? Because obviously it happened for a reason, because everything happens for a reason. It's because this is giving me the opportunity to make a change in my life. So now I have two choices. I can make a change for the better. I can make a change for the worse. I can make a change by looking at all the things here that this has created and picking out, the silver linings and saying, okay, wow, with all these awesome silver lining things, if I make these changes and start doing this, heck, when this is over, I just might keep some of these. I kind of like this, Or you can look at it the other way and you can say, well, I got all these bad things that are about to happen because of this situation, and this negative bad thing's going to happen, and this is bad going to happen, and that's bad going to happen. And I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but they're all going to happen to me. And, you can just sit there and do nothing and choose, to not change and be stuck with the fate that you brought upon yourself. So there you go. That's my 2 cents for backing up your output there, John.
Well, yeah, it comes down to when in order to be successful, and this is a habit of successful people, we're never, ever victims. We're not victims. Things happen to us because we cause things to happen to us. And when something bad happens to you, people's tendency is to look at everybody else or look for a face or a person to point the finger at or blame in order to feel better about the situation. Well, you might feel better by blaming other people, but all you're doing is justifying, and you're not learning from the lesson. You know what? In the long run, take some responsibility. Even if it doesn't feel so good to admit when you make a mistake or you had a hand in what actually took place or something, take responsibility. Own your actions. Own your thoughts. Own your feelings. Realize that all your thoughts and your feelings lead to your actions, which equals your results, but you are integral in all of those things. You got to own your thoughts and feelings. Then this way you could realize that the actions you're taking and the results you're getting is the result of how you think, how you act, and how you treat others, how you treat yourself, and how you treat a situation or a challenge. I don't even want to use the word, speaking of removing words from the vocabulary, 2 words that I want, that I'm consciously, 3 words actually I consciously removing from my vocabulary is the word hate, the word hard, and the word, shoot, I just had this in my mind. I'm sorry. The word hate, the word hard, and the word problem. You know why? Because I don't hate anything.
I'm going to add one more to that.
Go ahead. Try. Yes, and try. You know what? This I just learned the other day with my son, and I'll tie this all in. He comes outside to me, and he's supposed to be inside doing his homework, and he says, "Dad, I hate homework. I'm not doing it." And I said, "Zachary, you have to go do your homework." "Dad, but I hate homework. I'm not going to do it. I hate it. I hate it." So I said, "Zach, we don't use the word hate in this house." He goes, "Fine, I don't love homework. I don't love it, but I guess I'll go do it." He changed his own mind just by simply removing the word hate from his vocabulary. It went from, "I hate doing this, I'm not doing it," to, "I don't love doing this, but it has to get done and I'm going to do it." You see, words are very powerful things. Eliminating the word hate. I say eliminate the word hard. It's not hard, it's a challenge. Like when something's, "Oh, that's too hard, that's so tough." If you look at it as, you know what, that's just a challenge. That's just a problem that needs a solution. So, for me, when I'm presented with a challenge or something that needs a solution found, that is actually what invigorates me, what actually peps me up. So I look at things as like, this isn't a problem. This is just, well, it's a problem, but I get to find a solution. It's not tough or it's not hard. It's just a challenge. And what was the other one that you said there, Paul? Because I agree with you, is try. I'm not going to try to overcome the situation. I'm going to overcome the situation. I'm not going to try to wholesale real estate. No, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to flip a goddamn house. We don't realize how powerful words are. Words are like spells. I think in my studies and my travels, one of my mentor, Jeff Fagan, always talks about white and black magic. And I'm someone, I've studied a lot of things that have to do with the idea behind the occult, the idea behind religions. And basically what I found in my life is I absolutely believe that magic and spells and energy absolutely does exist. And when I say magic and spells, what's going on out there is that every time you say a word to yourself, especially, or say a word or a phrase, or you're talking to somebody else, you're casting spells. So if you're telling yourself negative things, it's like you're casting a curse on yourself. You're casting black magic. Literally, you are sending out negative energy to yourself. And if you talk negatively to other people, it's like black magic. And unfortunately, in the world we live in today, so much of what's being said out there, so much of how people treat other people and what comes across on the news media is so negative and dark. And it's like putting a curse on everybody. But, you know, if you start to like say positive things, you start to actively think more positively and use more positive words with yourself and even treat people more positively, it's like casting white magic. It literally transforms your life because you can feel a huge difference within your own self by consciously casting these words of power. And it's absolutely, words tie into the energy and the flow of energy. If you use negative words, you're going to project negative energy. But if you use positive words and think positively, you're going to transmit and attract positive things into your life. It's just, it's so true. And most people, I think, when they might hear these concepts for the first time, may think they're a little ridiculous. But I beg of you to try it out in your own life, because when you see how real it actually is, it's life transforming, quite honestly.
Totally.
Throwing a little
Totally. Well, that's kind of where we started out here is, you know, words. We dumped some old negative, debilitating words that people use every day in their life and throw these spells, as John said, out upon somebody. What are you telling somebody when you wish them a good morning? You know, exactly. It's like, hey, good morning. Well, is any morning good to start with? Or I mean, do you want morning bad or good, period? I mean, come on. It's like, come on, what think of something better. Like I said, you know, hey, good rising, you know, good day, you know, good beginning, good health. I don't know, whatever.
You know, it's a funny one too. You have like, you know, an Irish thing is they say top of the morning to you. Top of the morning is there's a like a peak to this morning process.
Right. And I actually thought of that yesterday myself too. That whole top of the morning says, like, so top of the morning. Well, I guess that's like when you climb out of the pile of shit that you're wallowing in, and now you're standing knee deep on top of it, and you can actually see around you. That's the top of the morning, right?
What would you say the opposite of morning is? Jubilation?
Yeah.
Would you say to somebody, hey, bottom of the celebration to you?
Right, you get the whole celebration ahead of you. You know?
You're at the bottom of the celebration to you. You know what? And it's funny. I think that somehow along the way, we as human beings have either allowed somebody to do this to us, or just naturally, because negativity is so much easier to fall into than positivity. Like, human beings have literally programmed themselves to be negative. And it's obvious just in your passing conversation with people.
That's born out of laziness, because you know what? It's just so much easier to do what everybody else before you did, you know? So there's no challenge there's no difficulty. There's nothing hard. You don't have to try anything new to just do what those before you did, basically what you were taught. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, however something got started like that, it just continues on. Tradition is a whole lot easier than a challenge.
Exactly. But you know what? We've got just about 5 minutes left. So a lot of people that kind of came to this point so far, they're like, I dig what you guys are saying. You know, it's new age, it's different, it's hippie-ish. I don't know what people think about positivity and why so many people are opposed to being positive. But the question on most people's mind, as they're probably sitting through this hangout, is I'd be thinking, to the uninitiated, how does this apply to wholesale real estate, and how does this apply to making money and being successful? So, Paul, why don't you tie that into why this is important to wholesale real estate, to success, and to building wealth?
I'm going to throw it in with something else that I saw. This is by a guy named William Arthur Ward. He's called A Blueprint for Achievement, and I think it'll kind of wrap it all in there for you, John. The blueprint for achievement is to believe while others are doubting, plan while others are playing, study while others are sleeping, decide while others are delaying, prepare while others are dreaming, begin while others are procrastinating, work while others are wishing, save while others are wasting, listen while others are talking, smile while others are pouting, commend while others are criticizing, and persist while others are quitting. So what does all this have to do with real estate? What's it got to do with anything? Okay? Real estate is something, it's something else. It's got to do everything with everything. There you go.
Right. Your ability to feel good at all times, your ability to control your thoughts and feelings, your ability to block out negativity is the difference between success and failure. You know, I love this thing called The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale, because he basically says, you know what? The successful person isn't necessarily the guy that's the richest that makes the most money. A successful person can be the guy at the local gas station who fixes cars for a living because he wants to work at that gas station and fix cars for a living, and he feels good about doing it. See, success isn't only about money. Really, it isn't really about money. It's about how you feel about what you're doing. You know, wealth and finance, that all falls into place once you're feeling good. But let's say you are rich and financially free. What good is that, or is all that wealth and financial freedom if you don't enjoy your life, if you're not doing what it is that you want to do, if you're not actually getting out of bed with a smile on your face, excited to face the day because you've set something up that you're looking forward to doing? It all comes down to positive mental attitude, how you feel. And how you feel is everything. And like I was bringing it back, you know, I love this Earl Nightingale thing called The Strangest Secret for many reasons. Because one big reason why is because he recorded this tape in the 50s. So we're talking 60 plus years ago. And it's almost like the statistics that he mentions then are the same statistics now, possibly worse. You know, if you take 100 men, only 5 in that 100, when they get to the end of their working life, will be able to retire financially free. The other 95% fall short somewhere. And one of the biggest things they find is why most men fall short, because they don't have control, in my opinion, of their mind, of their lives, and of their destiny. And it's the realization, a success is the realization of a worthwhile goal. If you don't have a goal or something that you're attempting to achieve in your life, really, quite honestly, you can't be successful. There has to be light at the end of the rainbow. There has to be something that you're working your life towards. And you know what? It's not just about getting the goal or reaching the goal. It's about feeling good along the way. To just bring it back before I toss it to Paul, you know, success isn't wealth. Wealth is a result of success, and success is you're doing what you're doing because it's something you want to be doing. It's something you enjoy doing. 95% or more of the people out there aren't successful because they're miserable. They're getting up on Monday. They're getting up in the morning and they're facing the week and they're waiting for the week to end. And you know what? That's no way to live your life. That's no way to be successful. It's all about positivity, and it starts with changing your mind, your habits, and at your very core, the words that you're using on a daily basis. So with that, I'm going to toss it back over to Paul for a final thought and to kind of take us on out of here.
I'm just going to say that the difference between success, or the difference between being successful and being rich, is the level of happiness associated to each. There you go. You can be rich and unhappy, and that's all you have. You can be rich and happy, and you're successful. With that, O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom or more success, with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire. Have a great, strong session, everybody. We'll see you back here on Wednesday.